Hi, Scott. I'm Chume Sugawara. I'm a film production student here. Thank you so much for coming today and for sharing your personal stories. My question for you is, what was the hardest thing for you to go through as a writer and filmmaker, and how did you get over it?
The hardest thing to go through. As a writer, in terms of this script, I didn't know where it was going, so I was very much like blocked and depressed, and I can't understand how, endings are really hard. So if you don't have an ending when you start, you could find yourself in a lot of trouble. And I definitely was like, where is this going? Should I just throw this whole thing out? And luckily for me, circumstances made the ending present itself, which was really nice. But I didn't really do anything except be aware of, I was able to take her getting married to someone else as this great thing, which is selective, understanding. But it was, that was probably difficult, and always is difficult. Every time you write anything, if you will get to a place, I think, where you're like, wait, where am I? What happened here? How did I get here? So that's always a challenge. But there are different ways to get around it, and I just finish, just write the last scene and then, see where you are. That's usually the best way to get around it.
It is fascinating to me that you started this process without the ending.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost hard to believe. So you talked about the ending. Before we show it, can you set it up where we are in the movie and what's happening, and then we'll
after
watch the movie.
that horrible bench scene where she takes a giant shit on him. He's trying to move on. He has to move on. He understands finally, because she said the right things to him. The light bulb went off. That is over. Time to move on. Hard to know if he did. You don't often just change like that,
Mm-hmm.
So, but at least the metaphor is that at least he's doing what he wants to be doing finally. So he's looking inward instead of outward for his happiness, which is the lesson he had to learn. And that brings us to his interviewing for a new job.
Okay. Let's see the sort of end of the movie.